Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of White Boy Talks About Shit. Ah, fuck. I'm running low on water, and I just began. That's not great. Anyway. Oh, man. Hey, guys. You're tuning in just in time for the best part of the stream, which is when my camera falls down, apparently. Kind of need to fix this little thing we got here. There we go. Okay, it's moved a little. Doesn't look too bad. Take that there. Yeah, back to where we were. How's it going, everybody? Oh, Shoe being a dumb person on the internet. Well, we're gonna talk about that and more. We're just gonna wait for some more viewers to come in first. All right, let's get up my Discord too in case anybody wants to chat. Now remember, if you're watching on Twitch, that means that you are especially based. That means you're especially awesome. And it means that you're probably better looking than the average person, too. So if the fact that we only have 8 people tuning in right now on Twitch, don't make me say this again, boys. Get over here on Twitch. Come on now. Are we on I don't know. Is this the early stream treatment right here? I'm gonna go on Twitter and post my little link. All right, hold on. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna get into some fun topics today, including me going after me. That's right. I'm responding to a video of mine. Okay. Let's go over here to the twitch.com. Ow. Okay. It's like I'm over here like, why is nobody tuning into my Twitch stream? And then they tune in and it's literally just Boomer getting mad at his computer. Please don't make this challenging for me. Please. For once, Twitch. Just be, usable. Alright, here we go. There we go. Alright. Now we will post this on Twitter. Tune in. All right. Cool. So anyway, how's everybody doing today? Yo, we got 32 viewers now on Twitch. That's cool. Very dope. Very based. Yes, I see you all here. Twitch, you are superior, chat. And soon, very soon, it's going to come to the point that YouTube is going to be completely gone. So, how come we can't sub? Because I'm not an affiliate yet. That's why. You have to tilt your glasses down and squint at your computer to completely sell the confused Boomer on the internet look. Okay, hold on. Like this? Like... If I drag the computer icon into the recycling bin, will that delete the whole computer? Yeah, I think I can do that pretty good. How come we can't? Yeah. You'll be able to sub soon, my friends. Don't worry. All right, cool. How's everybody doing today? Now, if you are tuning in on YouTube, consider... Are you going to be the joke police again? Is that the shoe drama? Very funny, but no. If you are tuning in and you enjoy the stream, then please consider hitting that follow button, hit that subscribe button, and if you want your message read and responded to live, put something in the super chat, and you, my friends, can have your message read and responded to live via my luscious voice. That is a deal that is irresistible. All right, I don't know how much more else to sell this to you other than just saying you're going to want to donate. Put it in the super chat. Have your message read and responded to live. If you're watching on Twitch, you can click a PayPal link in my About section and attach a message and have it read and responded to on stream as well, if that's something you want to do. If not, then you know what? Just tune in, relax, watch the stream, and enjoy, okay? But the least you can do is hit that follow button. That's free. Hunter got wrecked in VR chat. You know what? Doge David, thank you for the $6.99. Take my Canadian money and convince more anti-vaxxers the jab is safe. I accidentally took Pfizer with no side effects. Take that, Satan. Hey! You guys might remember I had a little debate with this guy the other day where he was talking about his the vaccine being the mark of the beast. And what do you know? It looks like he got the vaccine. I'm glad to hear you got Pfizer too, man. That's really good to hear. That makes me very happy. I'm proud. God, I'm so proud. They really grow up fast, man. Oh, God. I'm swelling up. Ooh. Pfizer is cringe. Moderna's where it's at. You're not even FDA approved yet, bitch. All right. Just kidding. Love you all. Let's get into the first bit of drama here, okay? And that is our good friend, Shoe0nhead. Now, Shoe, if you're watching, hello. You're welcome to come on the Discord and talk about this if you want. This isn't really going to be too much of a... Well, let's just get into it, okay? So what actually happened? What's the Shoe0nhead drama? What the heck is going on? So, basically what happened was... Hold on. Hunter is a boomer again at his computer. That's what happened. All right. So, this page announced that Shoe0nhead was going to be their new social media co-director. Now, I can partially understand why they would want Shoe0nhead. Like, she's a populist, and she also has proven that she is able to build a rather successful social media platform. She has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and I think like almost 500,000 on Twitter. So, I mean, that's what being terminally online does to you. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That's honestly, she's very successful with building, just building her platform up. But this page announced that now they have hired Shoe0nhead, I assume, as their social media co-director. They're a very small page, only 600 or 700 followers. But the little problem is, if you scroll through what this page has been posting recently, it's mainly just like conservative bullshit. They've retweeted some stuff about the New York Young Republican Club winning. They've retweeted this, the Bobby Levy guy, who's also now working on their team. It's called, "We do a little fighting back against the tyrants. Stop the mandates COVID 1984 with a person wearing," I guess this is him, with Reagan Bush 84. Okay. So, a lot of this seems to be really... Hold on. Update here. So now they're retweeting a bunch of this shit too. So yeah, they're retweeting some left-leaning stuff also. But people are bringing this up. People are getting really mad. And the thing is I think that people, they look at this and the initial reaction is, this is grifting. This doesn't look like this aligns at all with what Shoe0nhead claims to believe in. Yet it appears that she is being paid to bolster this page that, although it claims to be populist, is sharing a lot of far-right bullshit. I know there was one post as well where that page thanked someone for creating this video, and the video was made by someone whose name translated to like death to Jews or something. It was some like really yikesy shit. But I think people look at this and they think this is grifting. They think this looks really bad. I've seen a lot of people bring this up too as like a disappointed, or they're more like exposing her, right? This is exposing Shoe0nhead. Look, oh my God. But to be fair, I don't think this is exposing anyone. And I don't really even know if this exposes Shoe0nhead as a grifter or something. This is just what populism is. It's this kind of bullshit. Historically, what populism looks like, it is the belief that you can work with the far right, the far left, and sort of unite against this hatred of the elites. But this is one-dimensional thinking, because it's very, very focused on the present day. Right now, Shoe0nhead's probably thinking, after my discussion with her, this is my best guess, Shoe0nhead's probably thinking something along the lines of, let's just get as many people as possible fucking hating the elites. I don't care if they're anti-vaxxers. I don't care if they're far-right people. I don't care. Let's just get as many people as possible that are against the elites. And at first, I can kind of get that, because it's like, you know, she believes the elites are super bad and super evil and the establishment must go, yada, yada, yada. So the most people against that, the better. But even for her own ultimate ideology, this wouldn't actually be successful. And this is because whenever something like this happens, let's try to, you know what? No. Let's take a step back here. Let's go back and down memory lane, and let's have a little think about what happens here with populism. Let's say, hypothetically, you team up with some far right-wingers, some far left-wingers, you get them all together, they're all like, you know what? I hate the elites, I hate the elites, and I hate the elites. Great. They all overthrow the current establishment, yada yada. Now, the first goal has been met, right? Which is to challenge the establishment, fight against the quote-unquote elites. Now, the ambiguity there is also concerning, but we'll talk about that secondly. So, now, hypothetically, you've thrown over the current establishment. Well, now it's time to establish a new system, a new setup, right? Well, now what's going to happen? Suddenly, there are no more elites to hate on, and suddenly, turns out that the far right-wingers, they don't really want Jews in their new society. As far as they're concerned, the Jews are the elites, oftentimes. And suddenly you're going to have an issue here, a serious ideological divide, because you cannot base everything on a hatred of the elites. So when it comes time to establish your new setup, what's going to happen, if we want to learn from history, the left will most likely be too internally divided. This is what happened when Mussolini rose to power. The left was too internally divided to respond adequately to the fascist uprising, and they lost. So what would happen here is you might rise up against the elites, but once that's all said and done, the next step is your head on the chopping block. The right will take power. They tend to win when fighting for power as well. So your ultimate goal would fail. But this is what populism is. This is the delusion of populism. This is this phony belief that you can coalition build with radical anti-vaxxers, neo-Nazis, people that are essentially living in a different reality. I want to look at some of this stuff that I downloaded on populism. We'll do a little lesson here as well. Okay? Populism, political program or movement that champions or claims to champion the common person, usually by favorable contrast with a real or perceived elite or establishment. Populism. Hold on, let me set this here so that we can see chat better. I really got to get figuring out my chat system set up, don't I, man? I think the best bet's just gonna do stuff in small screen here, kind of like that, you know. Fuck you, go away, bye. Okay. Anywho, populism is the political program or movement that champions or claims to champion the common person. Populism usually combines elements of the left and the right, opposing large business and financial interests, but also frequently being hostile to established socialist and labor parties. The term populism can designate either democratic or authoritarian movements. Now, this is important to remember when we're talking about populism, is that there are aspects of populism that are, like, you can argue are good, right? So let me see if I can, hold on. Fuck, hold on. I got ahead of myself. I thought that was in this article. It was actually my second one. Okay, in its contemporary understanding, however, populism is most often associated with an authoritarian form of politics. Populist politics follow this definition, revolves around a charismatic leader who appeals to and claims to embody the will of the people in order to consolidate his own power. This is why some people argued that Donald Trump was a populist, and I think that in many ways he did have significant negative populist tendencies. In this personalized form of politics, political parties lose their importance, and elections serve to confirm the leader's authority. Well, that's just authoritarian populism. To be clear, I don't think that that's what Shoe0nhead is all about here. I just think the key elements of populism, this idea that you can coalition build with far left people and far right people and put them together, it's not going to happen. And I have this secondary article which goes into a little bit of detail on what actually is populism and why it has a bad reputation. Because it's true that oftentimes if you hear the term populism, it doesn't sound great. So populism is nothing new. It's long accompanied democratic politics, and its activity and success has experienced peaks and troughs. Right now we're in a bit of a heyday for populism, and this is impacting the nature of politics in general. All right. There's an academic debate on how to categorize the concept. Is it an ideology, a style, a discourse, or a strategy? But across these debates, researchers tend to agree populism has two core principles. It must claim to speak on behalf of ordinary people. These ordinary people must stand in opposition to an elite establishment. All right, that makes sense. These two core principles are combined in different ways with different populist parties, leaders, and movements. The ambiguity of the term the people and the elite mean the core principles of people-centrism and anti-elitism can be used for very different ends. This is a very succinct way of summing up another issue with populism and kind of what I was getting at earlier. Because of the ambiguity of these terms, when you're talking about rising up against the elites, well, depending on who you ask, the elites could vary. Some people might think that's the president. There are plenty of people I know think it's the Jews. So don't tell me that just rising up and coalition building with radicals on both sides is going to somehow work. It's not. You might agree temporarily on the people versus the elites, but this says it well. These core principles can and they will be used for very different ends. Bernie Sanders had some populism elements, but he was using that to talk about the elites in the sense of the uber wealthy, right? Donald Trump had some populism elements to be anti-immigrant, to say that we Americans, America first, our people, we need to protect each other. These can be used for very different ends, and that ambiguity there is key because it allows left-wingers and right-wingers to temporarily work together, but ultimately it will end badly for the left-leaning people, for minorities. That's just how it be. All right, let's see. So they talk a little bit about Donald Trump having populist tendencies. I don't really care. Hugo Chavez is an example, former president of Venezuela. He was highly populist in his rhetoric and perhaps the most famous example of a left-wing populist leader. So there is such a thing as... where do they talk about the democratic thing? The fact populists often want to transform the status quo, ostensibly in the name of the people, means they can appear threatening to the democratic norms. No, I'm not too worried about that. Where did they talk about the democratic thing? All right, yes. The term populism can either be democratic or authoritarian. So populism is typically critical of political representation and anything that mediates the relation between the people and their leader or government. In its most democratic form, populism seeks to defend the interests and maximize the power of ordinary citizens through reform rather than revolution. So this is what I was saying earlier, erroneously, that now is the proper time for me to say this. Yes, I think I'm figuring this streaming thing out. This is what I mean where there are certain like aspects of populism that aren't all negative. I would argue by this pure democratic form, I have some populist ideas in some sense or another because I too want to maximize the power of ordinary people in their government. And I also defend reform over revolution all the time. So if you want to take a more lenient definition, you could argue that even I have some populist tendencies. But when we're talking pure populism, like what unfortunately Shoe0nhead seems to be getting into, that is bound to fail. We've looked at it now historically. We've seen how this plays out. We know that it's not going to work long term to team up a bunch of fucking anti-vaxxers and neo-Nazis with a bunch of minorities who don't like the uber wealthy. It's just not going to end well, okay? But yeah, that's the Shoe0nhead drama. People are acting like this is some big exposed thing. This is not exposing anything. This is just populism brain rot right here. That's all this is. So we'll have to stay tuned, see what happens with this page. But I have a feeling we're in for a roller coaster. Ay. What do you guys think? Let me know. All right, we have some donations we're going to look at here. Wow, we just got a very large Patreon donation from Fan Next Door, pledged $50 on Patreon. Holy shit, dude. Well, if you are watching Fan Next Door, thank you for the kind donation in all caps. That's right. That's how serious I'm about that. Thank you very much for signing up to be a Patreon. You know, I don't have my I don't even think I have my... Oh, wait, no, I have... You know, that's not true. I have my link in my Twitch, so... She was always sus to me. I never understood BreadTube simping for her. Doge David, thank you for the Canadian $7. My ancestors fled fascism and anti-Semitism in Italy. They, like us, never thought the crazy fringe fascists with wild claims would ever gain power. But it is what happens. Halston Worked, thank you for the $5. There are people that think LGBT people are the elites. Conservative radio host Brian Fisher literally refers to homosexuals as the gay Gestapo. Holy shit. How is she sus? Well, she's a populist, which means if they don't like the elites, then she's probably okay working with them. So... I'm not a fan of that personally, but whatevs. All right, hold on. Do we have anything going on here? All right. Yeah. The gayest. Hunter has his issues, but his channel is not a crappy conservative page, lol. I don't have any issues, dude. I'm a literal perfect human being. What the fuck are you talking about? I never even get angry. Now, if you're watching on Twitch, you're extra based and I love you. But if you're watching on YouTube, I still like you too. Yeah, I still prefer edgy Hunter. I feel like I still hit on some edgy shit sometimes. Sometimes I say stuff that I'm like, oh great, am I gonna get canceled for this one? Wait, she was kind of dumb, but on Vosh's stream she said she didn't know they were anti-vax. Wait, did she go on Vosh's stream? Or was it just in chat? Hold on. Did she come on the gaming thing? There will be comments if she did. Shoe with the content. I see Shoe. Hold on.
I live for this. Thank you, Shoe, as always, for providing me such good content to react to. A person is Pepe posting. So...
Wait, hold on.
Matter of perspective. Whenever I see obviously conservative people on Tinder, I have to say I'm generally not quite pulled.
Maybe he doesn't talk to Shoe? Can someone tell me if she actually talked with Shoe0nhead? I guess she didn't. Okay. I'll hit her up really quick and see if she wants to come on stream. Alright. I'll just let Shoe0nhead know that she can come on if she's interested. Alright. I don't need this here. Okay. I'll get into live in case anybody wants to debate me. Okay. We have some other shit to go over now, okay? I'm excited. Not really. Okay. Man. Now, okay. I guess we're just going to get into this now. Welcome back to your favorite show, Hunter Rex Hunter. Not at all familiar, not similar to anything. It is purely my own original whatever. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Today, we're going to be going over another video of mine, and that is trolling the LA Women's March from very early 2019. I was trying to think. This was before Rose was born, long before I had talked to Vosh at all. I don't even... did Vosh even exist yet? online. So, yeah. Why am I talking about this video specifically? Because I've definitely made worse videos in the past, let's be fair. It's a funny story, actually. And I scoured everywhere to show you this, but I could not find it. So if anybody can find it and they want to send it to me on Discord or something, I would love you forever. But recently, someone took a clip of this video and posted it on TikTok. And that video went on to garner 8, 9, 10 million views and got over 1.2 million likes. I never fucking thought that I would see my face with 1.2 million likes. Not views. Likes. Wow. You can imagine for a solid 5, 10, maybe even 15 minutes, my self-confidence was fully elevated because I got a lot of likes. But then it quickly came down like a roller coaster of emotions when I realized it wasn't actually me that got those likes. It was someone else who jacked my shit, didn't give me credit, and stole a fuck ton of engagement that I would have rather had. But then again, I would never have posted this clip nowadays. Anyway, after I saw that it went viral, I thought, you know what? I gotta fucking talk about this video. Especially because after we talk about it, I'll probably end up taking it down. Trolling the LA Women's March. Let's skip all the intro and narration shit. We're just going to skip right into the actual conversation part. Not really that interested in anything other than. Hell yeah. I'm seeing a based weed girl. All right, let's go.
My sign says,
all right, well.
Marching for trans immigrant documented women.
Okay, why is women spelled with an X?
Just so it can be like more inclusive of other like ranges in the gender spectrum. I didn't want to just like say like women.
You don't want to have to say men in there, right?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm kind of doing a little bit of the Caitlyn Bennett thing here. And don't get me wrong, I'm still going to go to rallies and interview people, but the way I'm interviewing these people, I feel it's a little dishonest. I kind of baited him into just agreeing with a stupid position, lol kind of thing. Come on, I liked all these trolling videos. I'm still going to do trolling videos and shit with like right-wing rallies, but some of this I feel like you can troll right-wingers by just... I guess I thought that I was trolling them with facts here too. I don't know. I just think that it's like I'm trying to bait them into saying some stupid shit. But at the same time, the reason I say I'm kind of pulling a Caitlyn Bennett thing here is these are random people. This guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's cringy to write womanixen. Yeah, everyone makes fun of that shit. But like, I could have done this without baiting him into a question, kind of being bad faith there. When he's just a random person. This isn't a debate. He's not here to like debate me. I'm there provoking, if anything.
You have to say men in there, right?
Yeah, that one.
All right, let's just get out the sign.
Voldemort's a pretty ugly dude.
Where I pull up my sign. You don't need feminism. Being an absolute
I personally don't
ass.
believe we need feminism. I don't think women are oppressed in this country.
All right, let's see.
No. Why do you think we do need feminism?
Because abortion laws are being threatened, which means we can't control our reproductive bodies.
There could be a federal removal of a federal enforcement of abortion. However, it would still be left up to the states. So you would still have abortion in states like California, for example.
Hey, I say
Not
the
in
same thing
Texas,
now.
where You would have to, maybe you'd have one abortion clinic in the entire state.
But I think
That's also true.
The importance of having a smaller government is that these issues such as abortion should be left up to the state.
Have you ever known?
So, not a very strong argument on my end there. I'm not really too interested in critiquing the lady because these are random people at a political protest to show support for something that, granted, they're not really very well educated on or very good at speaking. But, I mean, some of this is kind of relevant with what we saw just happen in Texas. As far as me, I'm not making an argument. I'm just like, it's the important thing for a small government. It actually kind of sounds like I'm just saying a conservative buzzword. And I think what I was doing there is just saying a conservative buzzword. Just small government. That equals good. I'm not even saying I disagree fully with that take now, but rather I'm saying that that's not a good argument. Just that's a smaller government. That way it can be left up to the states. Well, then someone could easily rebuttal that, well, there are some things that shouldn't be left up to the states. There are some things that should be federally mandated. I don't want it to be left up to the states, like who can murder and who can't. That's dumb as fuck, Hunter. Abortion is a fundamental right for all women, regardless of where. I'm not really too interested in getting into the nitty-gritty of the abortion argument. We're going to get into that. Yeah, 2016 flashbacks. We're going to get into the wage gap argument once we get to that part. But yeah, I just think that this my form of argumentation there was really bad.
Known anyone who needed an abortion?
Absolutely.
And they were willing to drive 600 miles and have to stay the night there because it can be a 2-day procedure?
Listen, I just think it should be a smaller government. I think it's an issue that should be left up to the states. And I hardly think that women not being able to get an abortion in a specific state is any sign of oppression. I understand, but I still don't...
Okay, so that was complete bullshit right there of my argument. I was just well, it's a smaller government. I'm doing like the conservative bulldoze, and then I just pivot onto, well, no, that wasn't really a pivot, but still, then I'm...
State is any sign of oppression. I understand, but I still don't...
With a man, I don't really care.
Actually, women are not paid less. The wage gap has been debunked multiple times. In fact, there was a study done by the Association of University Women that found that when there's the actual wage gap is only about 6%, and that can be explained by women's. That can be explained by women's individual choices, hours worked, and education.
No, this is false. So let's get into this, because this is mainly the main thing I wanted to talk about. And then other than that, it's going to be just flipping through, laughing at some of my arguments. But when we're talking about the wage gap, these people explain it really badly. Are women paid less than men? What does that mean? What does that look like? And why are they bringing it up? These are the important questions to be asking. This lady doesn't have the answer. And I don't know if you guys have the answer yet either. And I don't think I'm going to give you the answer yet. I think we're going to watch the video for a little longer. And we're going to watch it on faster speed. Because watching me do this is kind of cringy. And, well, no, let me rephrase that. It's very cringy, and I'd like to see it quicker. Thank you.
Held back from scientific positions?
No.
Yes, because
No.
It's not. Don't say no when I have people I know who are scientists, women I know.
And I'm stating statistics. I think that statistics overrule anecdotal evidence. See, I would tell you that's not true. I don't think women are oppressed. I think women can do anything they want to do, and I think they can be successful in any institution. But it's actually the feminists who are telling women that they can't do things and that they're being held back.
What sign do you see here that says women stay home? What sign do you hear?
I don't see a sign that says that.
Right, because feminists are not holding women back.
It's not a bad thing for me to think women aren't oppressed.
So the bigotry of low expectations. Oh, you think that women can't succeed? You're raising awareness of something that you think is an issue? Sounds like you're the actual sexist now, bitch.
Do you hear?
I don't see a sign that says that.
Right, because feminists.
But this
are not
also is a really stupid argument. Do you see anyone holding a literal sign that says women must remain in the kitchen? No? Ha! Then get wrecked, mansplainer.
holding women back.
It's not a bad thing for me to think women aren't oppressed. Why do you guys need feminism? Why do you guys need feminism? Come talk to me.
The typical, they won't talk to me when I'm there provoking them.
Come talk to me. Don't just scream. You don't need it. Women are not oppressed in this country. You guys want to talk to me? Women are not oppressed in this country, guys. You don't need well, why don't you guys tell me? Why do you need feminism?
Why do you not need feminism? Who are you? You're a f***ing white guy?
Yes, I'm a white guy.
Good for you.
But
Congratulations.
I don't think calling me a white guy discredits my opinions. And I think that's actually pretty racist.
Oh, God. This is like Hunter being a fucking idiot invading a rally full of terminally online idiots. This cannot end well, dude. This is just me. You don't need feminism. You don't need women, smaller state, government, less equals good. That's what PragerU said. And then you have these ladies that are like, you're just a fucking cis white male. You don't know shit. All right? I talked to Brenda on Twitter, and that's what she told me. So fuck you, whitey. Can we just have anyone who's balanced in the middle? Can we just have anyone that can recognize how both of this is bullshit and get to the nitty-gritty of the issue? Maybe that's what I'm destined for now.
Get whatever you want because you're a white guy. Congratulations.
Oh yeah.
I'm a black
I can
girl,
also
so
get a higher
I'm
suicide rate. But I don't think women need feminism. I don't think women are oppressed in this country.
Looked at the camera like such
Do you think? Why do you need feminism?
Feminism is equality. Stop trolling.
Well, it's really more of a difference of opinion, but whatever you want to call it. Because I don't think that women
No,
need feminism, and I don't.
it's just a difference of opinion, guys. Stop trolling. It's a difference of opinion, he said on his video titled "Trolling the LA Women's March." That's dishonest of me. I know that because I knew that I was going to use this title because my first trolling the Women's March video was very successful. Stop trolling. It's actually a difference of opinion. Why didn't I just own it and say, yeah, I am trolling? Maybe you should speak to the troll instead. Don't run away.
think that's negativity. I'm here telling women that I don't think they're oppressed. I think that's a good thing.
Why do you think we don't need feminism?
Because women are equal members of our society and they have equal rights. There's not a single right a man has that a woman does not.
That's very, very, very untrue.
What's what? Oh, I've looked up the pay gap multiple times. In fact, the university.
If men wanted abortions, I feel like it would definitely happen by now. So don't tell us what, like, I think feminism oppresses women more. I mean, feminism doesn't oppress women. It stands up for equality. It means justice. It means equalism.
But women already have equality, so why do we need a
No,
movement
we
saying
don't.
what rights do women? What's one right that a man has that a woman doesn't?
Woman sounds about white. Let's just go.
Let's just say we didn't have
Throw a white comment at me. That's very legitimate, guys. Good job. You don't need feminism, guys.
We talk to a woman since we're both men. You're a man. Why don't we get
I don't like to play identity politics. I'd rather hear your opinion.
Well, I'm a man.
Right, but
That's
just
fine.
because you're a man doesn't mean it invalidates your opinion.
Oh no, totally. But we're talking.
It's
about
funny because I think this shit is dumb to be like, I'm a man, you shouldn't be talking to me. But right-wingers do the same shit. Candace Owens, how many times does she pull the black card? How many times do they pull the age card? Identity politics is so fucking cringy when it's used in this aspect, but it happens on the left and the right. And what's funny is I'm actually consistent in this sense that I think it's cringy to be this guy, to be, let's ask a woman because you're just a man. Or I'm sorry, a man. None. But I also think it's cringy when right-wingers do it too.
women having equality, so we should have women to talk about their view on equality. Like, has there been a time, or can you think of a time in recent memory, like the last few weeks, where you felt like you weren't treated fairly because you were a woman?
I'm trying to think. I've been doing a lot of striking with the teachers.
Yeah.
I haven't, as of lately, noticed it because I feel so much more empowered.
Oh no, come on, dude. That you don't have to be left, you don't have to be right. Let's just talk about the optics of this exchange. Purely the optics, okay? First he invokes the id pull. First he pulls the, well, I'm a man and I can see your flopping dick hanging and wiggling through your pants. And I'm saying, hey, I want to hear your opinion. I don't care. We don't need a woman in here to talk to me about this. We can talk about this. This should be a factual argument. And then he's like, let's pull in the woman to speak. We bring her in. Actually, I've been feeling really empowered, so lately I haven't been oppressed at all. Oh, man. You don't have to be, it doesn't matter. You know what? Am I going to have to eat my words on populism? Are we all uniting now on the fact that this was a cringy exchange for these people? I feel bad for them. This guy may have even been able to bring up some arguments against me. Who knows?
Doing a lot of striking with the teachers.
Yeah.
I haven't, as of lately, noticed it because I feel so much more empowered.
You don't need feminism. Why do you need feminism? Why do you need feminism?
Because I experience sexism.
I'm such a
Mansplainer.
bitch.
They're yelling mansplainer at me. So you're okay chanting things at me in a repetitive, boring, predictable manner, but you won't actually just talk to me and have a discussion.
Yeah, because you have a camera on you and a microphone and you're holding a fucking sign. And there are people that are probably high as shit there to, like, support the cause that their friend's mom's sister mentioned. Or, like... Now, granted, this isn't as bad as what Caitlyn Bennett does because I am at a political event. Caitlyn Bennett, when she just goes up to people, like, harassing them on their Saturday at the beach, that's so fucking cringe. At least this is a political event, but still. come on. I'm in the situation here where no matter what the exchange is, I'm going to win. Even if it's from editing, I'm going to win.
I'm trying to tell people that I don't think they need feminism any longer. I think that women are equal members of our society, and I don't think there's any need for feminism in our country. What? I mean, what's one right?
So this doesn't really go anywhere. This guy, I mean, he makes a dumb argument that we need feminism because we haven't had a woman president, which is like, what?
Opinion that it's not flawed, but most decisions in this
country,
they don't yet.
Which rights do a man? What right does a man have that a woman doesn't?
Men have the right to walk down the street and read up. You've been buying into that fox.
Why do they think?
Because of Planned Parenthood. It's specifically set up for. No, it's specific.
Thank you for mansplaining that to me.
So we're having a fair discussion now. The minute I bring up.
You're probably 19. When you grow up, you're gonna be embarrassed.
I'm a bigot.
You know what? Did she call that one? Because I'm a little embarrassed here. The main thing throughout this video, though, and the main thing that I really wanted to focus on here was the wage gap. And you hear this invoked a lot. And why do they bring up the wage gap, right? Because you can explain it away. So what does this mean? Okay, when we talk about the wage gap, not these people are insane, granted. They are pretty kooky. But when we talk generally about the wage gap, it indicates a systemic problem, okay? Now let me explain this. Right now there exists, let me pull up my Pew Research, okay? So no one can accuse me of being a loser about this. Wait. Bruh. Why do I always get on a roll and then it's... Okay, never mind. I found it. Thank you for sticking by. So, the gender pay gap has remained relatively stable in the United States over the past 15 years or so. In 2020, women earned 84% of what men earned, according to a Pew Research Center analysis. So, what does this mean exactly, right? Because what happens is, and the classic 2016 argument that we saw brought up here is, well, women are paid less, which puts into your mind this idea that there's like this evil corporation that's just like, oh, because they're women, we don't have to pay them, ha 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 ha, or something. In reality, this simply means that when you compare the salaries, you get about an 84%, you get this gap, you get this gap, where it comes down to women earning about 84% of what men earned. It would take an extra 42 days of work for women to earn that, earn what men did in 2020. So a lot of this can be explained by other reasons, like education differences, hours worked. These are just a few that can very much account for this. But this is why it was dishonest what I said back here, where I said, actually, the wage gap is only like 6%, and then if you seal that up, or what did I say? Hold on.
A federal removal of a federal enforcement of abortion. However, I think it should be a smaller government. I think it's an issue.
Yes, because it's not. Don't say no when I have people I know who are scientists, women I know.
And I'm stating statistics. I think that statistics overrule anecdotal evidence. See, I would tell you that's not true. I don't think women are oppressed. I think women can do anything they want to do, and I think they can be successful in any institution. But it's actually the feminists who are telling women that they can't do things and that they're being held back.
What sign do you see here that says women stay home?
What did I talk
600
about
miles and have to stay the night there because it can be a 2-day.
I think it should be a smaller government. I think it's an issue that should be left up to the states, and I hardly think that women oppression. I understand, but I still don't.
With a man, I don't really care.
Actually, women are not paid less. The wage gap has been debunked multiple times. In fact, there was a study done by the Association of University Women that found that when there's the actual wage gap is only about 6%, and that can be explained by women. That can be explained by women's individual choices, hours worked, and education.
And being held back from science.
So that's a little dishonest here, because if you account for education, hours worked, etc., then you seal up the wage gap to about 6 to 4%. So this can be explained somewhat by hours worked and education. But that smaller gap, that 4 to 6% gap there, that, although we're not entirely sure, can point to underlying issues, systemic inequalities. For example, it's a known statistic that women are less likely to ask for a raise. However, why is that the case, right? These things aren't occurring in a vacuum. External forces influence some of these decisions. Why do women not ask for a raise? Is it because that oftentimes culturally, in subconscious ways or not, women are sometimes taught that they're supposed to be more of the quiet, tame ones, and it's the boys who are more rowdy, and that's, boys being boys. Boys are the more assertive one, the girls are the quiet ones. I'm not saying that's every case, but that can play a role. So even for me to be like, well, actually it's women's choices that influence, yeah, that could be right, but then that might point to another possible problem, because why are women making these choices? I have a really, really good study, and it goes really in depth. And it just talks about the gender pay gap and is it real? So, let's see. So, one study found that parents are more likely to expect their sons rather than their daughters to work in STEM fields, even when their daughters performed at the same level in mathematics. This suggests that cultural norms influence girls' confidence, which in turn influences their success. This is from a 2005 study. So let's just focus on just this right here. Just this study. This is research. This indicates something. This indicates that even if women are more qualified, or if a woman, or if a girl is more qualified or has the ability to pursue these fields, there might just be cultural expectations there. I'm not saying that the parents are evil and they're like, no, you're a stupid woman who must stay in the kitchen, but rather that there are cultural norms that reinforce ideas that can sometimes lead to women not making these choices. This suggests that cultural norms influence girls' confidence, which in turn influences their success. So I think that when people bring up the wage gap and they're just like, women only earn 70 cents to the dollar, blah, 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 then it's like, that's a super reductionist way of looking at it. Cultural stereotypes appear to have a direct impact on academic performance. Asians, for example, are stereotyped at being good at math. When Asian girls were told they were taking a quantitative skills test to assess ethnic differences in performance, they scored higher than a control group, which was given no explanation for why they were taking the test. By contrast, Asian girls scored worse when they were told they were taking a quantitative assessment to determine gender differences. Interesting. So, for example, this Pew Research article talks about how a lot of the reasons that this has, even though much of this gap has been explained by measurable factors such as educational attainment, occupational segregation, and work experience, the narrowing of the gap is attributable in large part to gains women have made in each of these dimensions. Even though women have increased their presence in higher-paying jobs traditionally dominated by men, such as professional and managerial positions, women as a whole continue to be overrepresented in lower-paying occupations relative to their share of the workforce. This may contribute to gender differences in pay. So, even this, right? Maybe you go to one job and maybe you're paid less because you have less education at the time. Maybe there actually is that, evil boss that thinks that they can just get away with paying you less because their employees aren't really allowed to discuss wages around the office anyway. If that were the case, your future employer is going to look at your salary, and if they see that you were paid less than some other man who might apply, they might offer you a lower salary as well, and that continues the cycle. So that's why what I mean when I say that the wage gap, you can't just point to it by itself and act like that proves anything. Rather, the wage gap is an indication of a larger, much more nuanced and systemic issue. Other factors that are difficult to measure, including gender discrimination, may also contribute to the ongoing wage discrepancy. In a 2017 Pew Research Center survey, about 4 in 10 working women, 42%, said they had experienced gender discrimination at work, compared with about 2 in 10 men, 22%. One of the most commonly reported forms of discrimination focused on earnings inequality. 1 in 4 employed women said they had earned less than a man who was doing the same job. I'm not too worried about what they were saying there. I'm more concerned about them experiencing the gender discrimination. But all of this can kind of play a role in influencing these decisions that women are making. And those decisions are also separate from some actual just direct discrimination that does occur in the workplace. I mean, we just read that survey. In college, girls are less likely to major in STEM subjects than men and are less likely to major in STEM than in other subjects, yet STEM majors are associated with the highest earnings. But even though they're not studying the subjects that lead to the most lucrative jobs, women's level of education continues to increase. Today, women earn more than half of all associate degrees, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and PhDs, although in this last category, they make up only 51% of recipients. Okay? One obstacle so women are attaining education really well now, it seems, but it doesn't seem that it's translating as well to the workforce. One obstacle to increasing women's share of employment in lucrative fields is the attrition rate of highly qualified women working in science, engineering, and technology fields. One study found that as many as half of highly qualified female SET professionals left their jobs because of hostile work environments and job pressures at odds with traditionally gendered domestic roles. Yet the gender wage gap persists even among recent graduates. So they do talk about how sometimes there is just general sex segregation and discrimination. Like men can absolutely face harassment and discrimination as well in the workforce. Okay. Gender differences in salary negotiation explain a portion of the gender gap. Men are more likely to negotiate their salary, which increases their earnings. However, men and women face different social incentives for negotiation, and there's evidence that women are more likely to be penalized when they negotiate. So that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. The constraints on negotiation clearly have an impact. Women who consistently negotiate their salary are paid over $1 million more across their lifetime than women who do not negotiate. Shit. All right. There was one part. Women do indeed make choices, but those choices do not occur in a vacuum. Our society's institutions and norms exert a powerful influence on what choices are available and what form they take. So, I feel like this explains a lot more the importance of talking about this wage gap, but also why it's important to talk about it in a nuanced way, not like these feminists on the street screeching at me. And this is in part why third wave feminism is so complicated and like misunderstood a lot too. Partially because some of the people are just nuts, and feminism does have a very bad name now. Because these nutcases tend to have the loudest voices, of course. But there is still a real aspect of feminism, and I think the reason that it's hard to get people on your side, I've talked about this a little bit before in the past, is because it's so much more nuanced and ambiguous. Like, look at what we're just talking about here with this wage gap. We're talking about data that then we have to sort of infer from that data what that could mean about greater institutional norms and how we might need to change that to affect real systemic change. That's a hell of a lot more complicated than women aren't allowed to vote and women are people and they should have just as many rights as men, so they should be allowed to vote. That's easy. That's cut and dry. This is illegal, but it shouldn't be. We want to change the law. There we go. But third wave feminism, we're now focusing on social norms, cultural expectations, and these things are much harder to pinpoint. They're much harder to explain, and in turn, it's much harder to get people on your side, understanding what you're really trying to get at. And honestly, I think that's why feminism is so misunderstood. That, and of course, like I said, the loud, crazy people. I know that for me, when I was in this video trolling the LA Women's March, I certainly had never had a nuanced understanding of feminism or what the wage gap could actually mean and indicate and why that was valuable. Instead, this was mainly what I saw, and that's partially was my own doing, but also the right-wing echo chamber. All you ever really see are caricatures. You never really see like the full scope of the ideas, and you never see the ideas explained well. But either way, Hunter, stop being cringe. Okay, you look way cooler now with the mustache. Yeah, well, hold on. Oh, great. Why does my software always fucking freeze? Yeah, well, whatever. I kind of looked like a scrawny white boy there. Here I have, the Ned Flanders look. Just seems more mature. You know? All right. Max Leon, thank you so much for the $10 PayPal donation. Respect? Damn, dude. Well, thank you very much. And I respect you for the donations. Thank you. All right, hold on. I received a payment as well, a very generous payment of $52 from Jessica Taylor on PayPal. Thank you. However, it says that it's on temporary hold. They need to do a quick security check to make sure Jessica Taylor logged in to send you money. Your payment will show as on hold for 24 hours after you receive this email. I can see if there's a message attached to it, because I don't want to cause any... Okay. Well, thank you very much for the donation, Jessica Taylor. Unfortunately, I'm not able to read a message if one was attached because the payment is on hold, but I will make sure I read that in a future stream, okay? So thank you very much for the support. The donation means a lot, guys. Is my software going to unfreeze or... Doge David, thanks again for the $2.79. Should have said, I'm not white, I'm Italian. That would have been a really based response right there. All right. I'm getting hungry, boys. Okay, hold on. Oops. Oh. Well. Looks like we got a update from Shoe0nhead. She is... Well, let me go ahead and click the record button for this, just to update. It sounds like Shoe0nhead said that she was only part of it for like 2 days and then she quit. She said that sure she would help out, didn't realize... I guess it sounds like maybe she wasn't sure. Well... Okay. Looks like, yeah, it might not be worth the drama then. But, okay. I guess Shoe0nhead isn't going to want to chat then. Doesn't sound like there's too much to talk about. YouTube chat is merged with Twitch chat. On screen, yeah. Sure is. All right, I'll be right back, okay? I gotta go get some food. We're back. We're gonna have a little snack time, okay? I ordered some Burger King thanks to your generous donations. So thanks, guys, for that. Love you all so much. While I was getting my snackies, we got another generous donation from, hold on, Artemis Burns. Thank you so much for the $10 donation on PayPal. Really appreciate it. Keep up the great work, Hunter. Thanks, man. That means a lot. Thank you. For a more perfect America, thanks for the $5 donation. I got $5 for the grift. Keep up the good work. Yeah, seriously, man. Support the grift. I didn't sell out for nothing, okay? I feel like that's how right-wingers think I am. But, yeah, I got Burger King, the veggie burger. Because I'm a good vegan. All right, we're going to do a little React Andy while we eat, okay? Anything good that I should watch? Any other good debates where anyone gets wrecked? Remember the one we watched with Ashley St. Clair that was so bad? Oh, man. Any suggestions? I've got my Twitter open. Anybody wants to talk? I guess we'll just watch the scary video about the TikTok mom that killed the kid. Because I kind of want to know what the fuck is going to happen. What is going to happen with that one, too. Or wait, hold on. We might have something better to do that's a little less dark. Let's just do some Dave Rubin clips.
I'm ready to roll. Like, I'm ready for the revolution. I really am. Like, if this is what these motherfuckers are going to do.
Oops.
I am ready to roll. Like, I'm ready for the revolution. I really am. Like, if this is what these motherfuckers are going to do, like, I'm here for it. Like, I am not going to be your bitch.
That if I have one job with this show, it's to not let you guys be blackpilled, because we must fight and we must do it together. People think, you know, if I just sit this one out, I'll be okay somehow. But no, you are a frog in a slowly boiling pot, and I would say it's even worse than that, because in essence, you're the frog in the pot and your arm is out of the pot and you're the one that's slowly turning up the gas.
You're the lobster at the Red Lobster restaurant.
Almost everyone actually walking around in masks. How do you break out of that? And the training that we have done to young people, so authority said something, you better follow it no matter what. No, whoa, you asking questions? We're gonna delete your YouTube channel.
Guys, watch V for Vendetta tonight, because you need to watch V for Vendetta, and it's an incredible movie, and I think we're getting to the point where we're gonna have to start doing some crazy shit, because these people are horrible.
Wow. So that was a trip thus far.
You know what? I'm going to make a commitment. Starting today, everything that I do in LA, and again, I don't go out that often, but everything that I do, any store that I enter, I'm not going to wear a mask. And if I'm told to wear a mask, then if I need to get in there, I guess I will. Like, I'm not here to start a riot and fight with people. And I would actually, I'm not even going to test it. You know why I'm not going to test it? Because I would feel bad, actually, for the poor security guard or the poor cashier or manager of Trader Joe's who would have to deal with the nonsense if me and my guys walked in there without masks. You know what I mean?
So you don't want to wear the mask, but you empathize that you would feel bad for them? What about the people that don't want to get COVID? What?
So we'll let it be for now. But Disney has become woke in that they constantly push these woke messages. I think more people should just tune out and stop paying attention to their crap. Now, I get it. It's tough. I was paying for a Disney Plus account, and then they got rid of Gina Carano, and I was about to cancel it. And then my sister, I gave my password to my sister. She's got young kids. They're watching the Disney movies, and I don't want them to be brainwashed, but the old stuff used to be.
It's all, everything is just like, I was gonna do this, I wanted to do this, but you know, I didn't want to do it because I actually had to do this other good thing to yeah.
Good. So I get why people don't just, you know, and it's tough, by the way, to take a stand on everything every moment of the day, and you don't want to just sit in a dark room alone instead of consuming any sort of content, right? So I get all of those inconsistencies that we all have.
And I think we're getting to the point where we're gonna have to start doing some crazy shit, because these people are horrible.
Hunter, would you have a beer with Rubin? You know, when I met Dave Rubin, he was drunk. I love this channel.
Everybody in California, how many people we got in Cali? This must be like, is it like 70 million people? How many people we got in Cali?
Do not copyright me, please, 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 no.
Oil exporter on Earth. But he decided to sell it and make $500 million by selling it to the #2 oil exporter, Qatar, okay? She used to struggle with imposter syndrome. That seems like a problem to me if you're gonna be in the CIA. Double agents, triple agents, quadruple agents, and now you've added in someone with imposter syndrome? I don't know what imposter syndrome is. I have no idea. You think you're an imposter? Then Caitlyn.
Come on. Imposter syndrome is loosely defined as doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud. It disproportionately affects high-achieving people who find it difficult to accept their accomplishments. Why would you try to commentate on something with that when you don't even know what it is? And it sounds even cringier when you have to walk back on it.
Jenner, who right now is running for governor of Caitlyn's And by the way, Caitlyn's people, we've reached out to you through every proper channel. I've tweeted a couple times. We have repeatedly on this show reached out through all the proper channels to her team. We haven't heard back. I've tweeted at her many times. My tweets get way more traffic than any of her tweets do.
I remember this one.
At this point,
he got rejected.
Weeks, we also donated $50. I've got the stupid mug. You know, it's just a PR campaign. That's all I think it is. And I would say this, you know, I said last week that I think the Caitlyn Jenner thing is just complete BS. They still have not responded to us. Why don't we follow up again, actually? And it's like, you don't have to do the show, but if you can't even respond, then you're just not serious one way or another. It says, what are your thoughts on Caitlyn?
When the imposter syndrome is sus. Oh, man. That is funny.
Jenner for governor. You know, look, we tried to reach out. They haven't got back to us. By the way, China also, you know, owns a ton of our debt, right? We're in massive debt to China. And at some point when they call in the tab, when they're like, no, guys, no more beers on us. We're calling in the tab. Well, then what do we do? Because we can't pay them back. We don't have any money. I mean,
who's the person that is the most out of left field, but you still believe they can become president?
Well, this isn't out of left field at all, but I honestly believe that Candace Owens could become president.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, explain. Because
honestly, he could be right there, and that would be fucking terrifying. Oh my god.
I think that will surprise a lot of people.
This purely secular thing that we seem to be doing at the moment, it ain't working, huh? If you were to let the atheist worldview flourish, that the amount of destruction would sort of, you just wouldn't be able to build anything after. I'm sort of loosely doing it there. That kind of feels right to me. Is there a giant sort of globalist operation that's sort of taking over the world that we're seeing through COVID and lockdowns and everything else? It's like,
so it's not just the ways.
Oh shit. The globalists taking over the world.
You and I are fairly versed in tech. So Amazon just took down the Parler servers. I don't know what that, you probably know more than me. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, how does Amazon just shut
They probably just shut down the Amazon server. Like,
Can we just have a compilation of him saying, I don't know.
AWS like EC2 instance or whatever.
Is that pulling a plug? Like, I don't know what you're doing there. It's a button or
it depends
plug
where they do it. They probably have multiple ways to take down the server.
Right. But I would like to think it's something dramatic, not just like tapping a button. Like, it would like to be like some sort of...
It's probably more a button than physically take over to row 7.
Climate change.
What the fuck?
Is an existential threat to human rights.
Yeah, it's not. And even if it was, we'll get off this rock. We'll figure something else out.
We'll figure it out.
I saw Deep Impact. A couple people survived.
Come on.
You know what?
These people are disgusting ghouls. Oh my fucking god. Is climate change a big deal? Nah. And even if it was, we'll figure it out. Cheers.
What happened to Bruce Willis at the end of Armageddon? I don't remember, but I think he lived. And basically nothing happened. Nothing happened. Actually, my folks have a little place in Florida, and we went there a few weeks after the hurricane. Place never looked better because the water had gotten everything growing, and the buildings were cleaner, and it was like, man, this should happen a little more often.
So it's funny. A few people have asked me here, you know, Dave, well, do you still call yourself a liberal? Does it make sense to call yourself a liberal?
I love this part when he pulls the please clap.
Unfortunately, I don't have a DeLorean and a flux capacitor, and I can't go back to France in 1780 where I could say I was a liberal with a straight face. I have no problem. I'm actually quite proud to stand in front of you and tell you that I'm a conservative. I have no problem doing that whatsoever. That you can applaud for. That I thought that was going to be a big. People aren't used to live performances again. You guys know I'm live.
Tries to play it off. everyone's like, yeah, haven't you always been a conservative? Wait, you mean you were serious about that whole like calling yourself a liberal thing?
Right? Because I saw you, I don't know if you remember this, but we actually met briefly at Mar-a-Lago back in December of, I guess it was 2018. And I saw you that night. You had no tie on, you were relaxed, you were laughing. Like, were you ever really, really worried? Or even on the second time around? I was going to the Trump rallies in Beverly Hills, and it was a joy fest. Like, it was truly unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. And I can't wait till they start up rallies, whether you're there or not, just to get people out there and holding flags and being proud to be Americans again.
And one thing you have to say, Dave, if nothing else, I was consistent. I mean, I've seen it too because believe it or not, Dave, I'm a very honest person. And
did Dave Rubin?
You know, I'm not sure that you can be honest and be in politics.
Well, look, as a guy named...
Did Dave Rubin actually... I didn't know he interviewed Trump. This was a while back now.
All right. I miss Joan Rivers, man. She was the best.
Oh yeah, she wanted to come on, and they.
Yikes.
Named David. You know, David beat Goliath. That's the old story, and I believe that Dave can beat Google.
There's no into it, there's no gender, everything's open, and that's just insanity.
Absolutely.
And of course, Webb, you're making the original feminist argument.
Wait, did he get
It's
the
like
wrong...
one of the things that I've noticed on Twitter lately is all the hate that I get is always bumped to the top, and the people that support me, I have to scroll and scroll and scroll. I don't really look at my mentions anymore because of this. Because if I tweet something out, a gajillion people who hate me and say awful things, those always get pushed to the top, and then I have to click view more, and it's usually view more for like hateful material or something, and I click it, and it's like, I'm with you, Dave, you know, enjoy this. Oh, you want to see this meme? So we're being manipulated in crazy ways. I actually think most people, 39 point.
I'm getting hate. It's the big tech censorship. Dave Rubin's really fucking cringe. Let's see. All right. So we now have more conservatives facing karma. Now, I'm not a fan of like making fun of people who well, Florida radio host Mr. Anti-Vax dies of COVID-19. A conservative Florida radio host who dubbed himself Mr. Anti-Vax and criticized the COVID-19 vaccine died of the coronavirus on Saturday. In a statement posted to Twitter radio station News Deota Beach, writing that he informed and entertained listeners for over 30 years. It's easy to look at these people and kind of laugh, but like I partially feel really bad for these people. Like I think that a lot of them are just complete victims to blatant misinformation. They're led astray. They're lied to. Texas anti-mask freedom defender Caleb Wallace dies of COVID-19. After close to a month in a hospital and grueling weeks on a ventilator, prominent Texas anti-mask freedom rally organizer Caleb Wallace died Saturday. He was 30 years old. Man. He had 3 girls, and his wife was pregnant. He began experiencing COVID-19 symptoms last month, and he refused to be tested and took unproven home remedies for the virus, including high doses of vitamin C, zinc, aspirin, and ivermectin, a deworming treatment commonly given to livestock. He didn't want to see a doctor because he didn't want to be part of the statistics with COVID tests. I feel bad for this guy. And for really, I feel bad for his family because this man was led astray. This man was deeply astray. It's a shame, man. It really is. It literally is a death cult. Like, unironically, full-blown death cult at this point. Would rather be a death stat than a testing stat. Unfortunately, that seems to be what happened here. There's irony there, of course, but then it's also like, I don't know. I just think it's really unfortunate, you know? We had a really short stream today, but I'm out of topics, and also my daughter just woke up, so I'm probably gonna have to go here soon. Unfortunately. I already talked about Shoe0nhead at the very beginning of the stream. You didn't even talk about Shoe. I did. You just weren't here on time, I guess, buddy. The whole beginning, like 30 minutes, was me talking about Shoe. I love you all. Thank you, everyone who donated and helped support the grift. Thank you to all the people that signed up on Patreon too. That's awesome. Love you all so much. Wish I could stream longer. But you know how it be. It's just gonna, it's how it is right now is, I got kids. I got other commitments. Also, I have a hippy dippy debate this fucking